Hey guys, before we get into this episode, if you get to the end of it and you're thinking, I would love to get a pep talk like this every single week, well, you can. That's literally what the Vitality Project is. It's group coaching classes with me and other women who are dedicated to carving out better lives for themselves and their families. We talk about habits, structure, mindset, how to actually feel good and keep going even when life gets hard. If you want to be a part of it, the link is in my show notes and I'll see you there. Children as young as 5 have been shown to express concern about their weight. 5? What in hell's name is going on in your household if your 5-year-old thinks that there's something wrong with their body and their weight? We've really got to change this, right? Hello guys, welcome back to Life with Danny Duncan. I hope you are all having the best day wherever you are in the world, whatever time of day it is. Maybe it's the morning on your walk, maybe you're sitting in the car, having that, I don't know, I'm going to say a cup of coffee. I don't drink coffee, so I don't really get the appeal, but say having a nice warm drink. I like a hot chocolate. Wherever you are, maybe you climb into a cupboard and you're like, I need to listen to Danny's episodes. Of course you do. But I hope you are feeling happy and healthy and find something to be grateful for today. I am talking about something that is pretty close to my heart actually today. I'm going to talk body image. Now, this is pretty close to my heart because I had past tense, have. It's not really current. Have struggled with body image for a lot of my life. In case you don't know, I was an ex-ballet dancer, and unfortunately it created a very negative experience for me around my body and the way I look, and created some eating disorders, unfortunately, in my late teens and early 20s, or most of my 20s. And I did a story on this last weekend, which turned into a live. So if you haven't watched that live, you can go and watch it on body image on my page, which is now danny.duncan_, guys. Remember, we've changed. There's no figure anymore. And because I think it needs to be talked about, and I got so many comments and replies from people, I wanted to talk more about it and maybe just talk about more ways what we can do to children as young as 5 have been shown to express concern about their weight. 5? What in hell's name is going on in your household if your 5-year-old thinks that there's something wrong with their body and their weight? We've really got to change this, right? Improve our relationship with ourselves and just make sure that we're not passing on these same struggles to our kids, because I feel like the 90s already did that. You know, I work with women now whose parents and mums were on diets, and mums were doing the latest fads, or, we were brought up, to look at Cosmopolitan magazine and look at Kate Moss looking like a waif and thinking that's how we wanted to look. And I really thought we were past that. I thought we were in a time where we're embracing the fact that everyone has a body and it's a different shape and size. And a strong body is a great body. And yes, of course, there's some health aspects. You don't want to be obese. You don't want to be carrying extra body fat. That's going to put impact on your heart health, your cardiovascular health, your organ health, your joints, your longevity. Of course, we don't want to have that. But I think in regards to what our bodies look like, I thought we'd become more accepting, and actually worried that maybe we haven't. And I think whereas in the 90s we had waifs and, magazine cover girls and the model culture, and then for me, the ballet culture, putting so much pressure on us to be skinny, I think, unfortunately, these fat loss injections are now doing the same thing, especially, and I'm going to bring this up very briefly, when celebrities endorse fat loss injections. I don't think it definitely is shooting the wrong message, in my opinion, as to why we do this. These fat loss injections, all these injections, these GLP-1s are supposed to be used for people with diabetes or extreme obesity. Yet we have people that just want to lose a couple of kilos doing it and then promoting it, celebrities promoting it, who are supposed to be looking up to. So I think we've actually gone backwards a little bit, unfortunately, and we seem to be back at the same place we were 20, 30 years ago. So here's some wild stats for you, right? Did you know that 70% of adolescent girls and 45% of boys say they want to change their body size or shape? I can attest to that. I was one of those girls. I 100% want to change my shape. I didn't think I was good enough, worthy enough, fun enough, good looking enough, unless I was skinnier. And I did lots of stupid things to try and get that body skinnier with no regard to my actual health. In Australia, almost half of all women report being dissatisfied with their bodies, and that number jumps even higher after having kids. So half of women basically don't like their body, and then that jumps after they have kids. Why don't we love our bodies? Oh my God. And this is the worst one. Children as young as 5 have been shown to express concern about their weight. 5? What in hell's name is going on in your household if your 5-year-old thinks that there's something wrong with their body and their weight? We've really got to change this, right? Now, when I did that live and those stories the other day on my stories on my Instagram, I did get, lots of messages back. And one of the most disturbing ones was the fact that if we do get to a stage where we've got eating disorders, this is coming from one of my followers, guys, so I'm not saying this is happening everywhere, but I feel like it's pretty common. If you go and see a psychologist about this or a professional, the focus is on getting to a certain weight goal. Like, we need to get you to X amount kilos so that you are healthy. What? And this is kind of in line exactly with what I preach about the other way, right? Like, surely we have to look at the mental health side and the mindset side of this first before even putting a weight goal on there. Like, what are you going to do? Just force feed your kid like a freaking turkey? Like you're having some fragua, stick a thing down its throat, eat, monkey, until you are a certain weight, and then what, you're okay and you're healed and you're healthy now? That is not okay in my opinion. And I don't think that is the right way to go about it. And again, as I said, this is just one person messaging me saying their reality with their child at the moment and what's going on. But yeah, I think the system is broken. So I suppose I want to just use this episode to just sort of help you guys with language around how we can reduce the risk of our kids and you, I suppose, not having this issue with our appearance. And I want to remind you that your body has done so much for you. So my body, not only has it gotten to me to the age of 40, it's had 7 babies in it. It's birthed 4 babies in 2 different ways. It's had half its bowel cut out and is still thriving. It has got me through marathons and ballet performances and through other physical challenges. It's kept me healthy. It's kept me strong. It manages to still go when I'm feeling terrible. Your bodies are strong. And if you are striving to look a certain way, I implore you to ask yourself why and what does that actually come with? So if you want to be lean and strong, that is absolutely fine, but do it in a way that your body responds to and that is right for your body. You know, one of my friends a few years ago actually said to me, "Oh, I'd love to look like this woman." And she showed me a picture of a celebrity I'd never even heard of. And this particular celebrity had a tiny weeny waist, bigger hips, a beautiful bum, and was this beautiful hourglass figure, right? And I turned to my friend and I said, "You're never, ever going to look like that." She's like, "That's not very nice." I said, No. I'm saying that out of love. You're not that shape. You're not that shape. You don't have a tiny waist like that. You are not that shape. That is not your body. Your body can never look like that without surgery. And also, why don't you just want your body to look like your body? What's the strong, healthy version of your body? And love that, right? We have to stop being like, I want to look like her. I want to look like him. You can say, I want to be as strong as that person or as lean as that person, fine. But let's stop aspiring to look a certain way when all our bodies are different. So anyway, how are we going to fix this? I reckon we need to start, obviously, by changing the way we talk and our language. So in our house, we don't use the F word. And I'm not talking about fuck, guys. I can say fuck till the cows come home. My kids can hear me say fuck as much as they want, but they will never hear me say that I look fat. I will never say that food is going to make you fat. And I feel like that was the language that I grew up with. If you eat that, you'll get fat. My dad still does it today. I fucking hope he doesn't listen to this fucking episode. Oh, look, that food will make you fat. No, that food's not going to make you fat for starters. It's an accumulation of different foods that's going to make you fat without with a too high input and not enough output. But we just don't use that word. We have to frame the way we talk. We don't use the F word in our house. We talk about our bodies being strong and what foods do for us. And they pick that up. My kids eat their chicken and they go, "Look, Mummy, look at my strong muscles." "Look, Mummy, eat my carrots so I can see in the dark." They go, "Mummy, avocado is good for my heart." And then we say occasional food and thriving food. What does thriving do for us? Nothing. It's just yummy. Exactly. Which is also super important, right? But we don't have much occasional food. We have lots of thriving foods or thriving foods, as Bo says at the moment. You have to catch yourself out about how you talk to yourself. Chris even called himself out the other day. We were talking about something. I bought him home 2 pastries from the market. He was like, "You trying to make me fat?" And I was like, "Shush." He was like, "Shit." Because we don't use that language in front of the kids at all. We can't talk like that in our house. You also have to change what you look at in the mirror. Every time you get in front of the mirror, you need to find one thing you love. Find one thing you love. I love my eyes. I love my lips. I don't love this pimple that's on my chin right now. Whatever it is, find something that you love and believe it. I love my hair the way it looks right now. I love my shoulders, the way they, stick up a little bit. Find one thing you love and do the same for your kids. Tell your kids, look in the mirror. What's something you love about what you see? And encourage it. And then change the way we look at ourselves as well in the mirror when it comes to washing our face, doing our makeup and those sorts of things. I don't wear any makeup unless I go out, which is not very often. And when Harper asks me, "Why are you putting makeup on, Mummy?" I go, "Because I want to look a little bit fancy. I want to look a little bit more confident, I don't say I want to look prettier because she always goes, "Oh, you look so pretty." I go, "Well, I feel really fancy and confident." It's just a bit of fun putting the makeup on. It's got nothing to do with wanting me to look pretty. And actually the kids all know that Daddy loves Mummy without makeup anyway, which I think is really important. And he expresses that. He goes, "I like Mummy without makeup. She looks way more beautiful without makeup." And then when Harper goes and gets the makeup thing, he goes, "I think you're beautiful just the way you are," which is so beautiful. And then change the way you think about exercise and food. So in this day and age, unfortunately, food is seen as the enemy. Exercise is seen as something that you do to punish yourself. And then we take these fat loss injections to try and stop us eating? Food is there to fuel. What makes you feel energized is food. What makes you feel energized is moving your body. Yeah? If you are counting calories so you can eat as little calories as possible, you've missed the point of life. You've missed the point of how your body actually functions day to day. Yeah? You have to eat for how it makes you feel. I want to feel good. I want to feel nourished. Putting good food in your body stimulates your brain. What you put in your gut directly relates to your brain. So if you feed it good food, you're going to feel better. And energy exercise is for endorphin release, for strength, for positivity, not for punishment. If you're there saying, "I need to work out 5 days a week because I need to lose fat," you've again missed the point. Fat loss is a byproduct of doing all the things consistently. If you're sitting there exercising for fat loss, you're exercising for punishment to reach a goal that's not actually a positive goal, right? And then change your measure of success. We talk about our non-scale victories when you work with me, right? Like, don't worry about what the scale says. What about how your clothes feel, how your skin is, how you're sleeping? What are your energy levels like in the morning, right? Let's not think, "Oh, I haven't lost a kilo this week, so I failed." Okay, I didn't lose a kilo this week, but I got out of bed at 5 o'clock and I moved my body and I was so much happier and my skin looks healthier and I pooed properly. I pooed every day. Ask yourself, how is it making you feel? Do I feel better? Because if you feel better, you do better. And when you do better, you be better. And ask yourself, what would you say if your best friend or your child said something negatively about their body to you? How would that make you feel? What would you say back to them? So how are you speaking to yourself? Now, I'm really passionate about this subject. Over the years, I've done a lot of work on self-love for my body, and I now eat to nourish and I move to thrive and feel good and strong. And the byproduct of that every time is a strong body that I'm proud of. And different seasons, call for different things. In the last 18 months, I have gotten pregnant, I've birthed a child, and I've had surgery for bowel cancer. All three of those things hugely affect how I'm able to move my body. Nourishment, similar as well. When we're not feeling well in pregnancy, it's hard to nourish. Postpartum is fine, but then during this chemotherapy, I really go through stages where I just don't feel like eating at all. My appetite is down and I'm very nauseated. But I'm still ensuring that the things I'm putting in my body are things that are going to spiral me up to make me feel good, so that I feel good about my body. And I love my body for reasons around strength and nourishment and health. I think we really have to turn this stigma off around what we look like and really focus on the long-term goals and then the byproduct of that being strong. Once you've sorted out your mindset around this, sure, focus on the aesthetics looks. That's fine, because aesthetics are important. We have eyes, we love things that are visually appealing. And if you want to look a certain way, that's fine. But you've got to fix upstairs first. You've got to fix your mindset first. Once you fix that, then you can go into looking a certain way out of love for your body, out of a positive goal for your body, doing it properly and not out of punishment. I have girls that come to me and they do really well and they go, right, Danny, I think it's time to now level it up. I think I want to get some abs now. I want to see my six pack and I want to get some bigger biceps. So then we go, cool, aesthetically, we can now change because we have a positive mindset. I've got a healthy relationship with food. I've got a healthy relationship with my body. It's strong and I love it, but now I just want to up it a little bit, And then we can focus on aesthetics when up here is fine. If we're so focused on body image as our prime reason for why, you're not going to get there and you're never going to be happy and you're always going to struggle and worry about what you look like. And then every time you step out of the house, it's what you're going to be worried about. Rather than being confident in your skin and know that you are doing everything in your power to nourish your body and make your body thrive long term. Imagine that. Imagine stepping outside. Okay, maybe you don't look like you envisioned in your head, but fuck, you did a great strength session today and you had awesome nourishment today and you've been consistent in that routine for the last 6 weeks. So how strong and proud and confident do you feel stepping out there? You'll get to that body aesthetically eventually, but right now be proud of where it is and where it's going. And when it comes to our kids, if we just keep talking and educating them around nourishment and movement, they are literally the answers to everything. Move your body, eat well. Now, if you do struggle with this, you don't have to do it alone as well. There are lots of tools out there and I have lots of free resources out there as well. This is the work I do with my clients though, because it starts upstairs. It's just telling you what to eat and how to move. That's easy. That's the easy thing. Go and eat this and move there. That's easy. But I actually help you create a lifestyle and choices that support you long term. I'm there to hold your hand, to give you that pep talk, to remind you of the why. When you feel like giving up or something's interrupted or health gets in the way, you go, actually, that's my why and that's why I'm going to keep going. I've got my app, Fit by Danny Duncan, which I'll pop below. And I've also got the Vitality Project, which we have our next intake at the start of each month with our onboarding call every Wednesday of the first week of the month at 8 p.m. If you need that support, if you need education, if you need someone to hold your hand, if you want to actually understand food and understand the why, because if you're confused and you're struggling, you might just need someone to help you. I'll put the link to the Vitality Project below as well. If you are struggling, please feel free also to send me a DM on Instagram. I will always reply and give you a little pep talk if you need. All right, now go home, love your body, tell me one thing below that you love about your body and do it with your kids as well.